Welcome back to the channel. This is S.O.G, and in today's video we're going to take a look and compare the Echelon 4.0C to the Walther PDP Pro E. But before we continue, everything we're doing today is in a completely safe work environment. We're not working with any live ammunition, and this is for educational purposes only. Now, both of these are compact size handguns, and we're going to take a look at the differences in dimensions, features, and all of those things that apply. Now, we're going to take a look and see which I personally prefer more, and we're going to take a look to see which of these two would benefit you the most. Starting with the Echelon 4.0C, the price points begin at $600, but it does go up from there depending on the variation you want and that sort of thing. What you get in the box are two back straps. You get a mag speed loader, you get a locking cable, VIS optic mounting accessories, magazine extensions, and a total of 2 magazines, both being 15s, but again you have the option of putting extensions on those, and it's all enclosed in a soft case. And the Walther PDP Pro E comes in at $770, but you can find a standard PDP for around $600. Now, what comes with the PDP Pro E is going to be 3 magazines, and each of those magazines are 18 rounders. You're going to get a speed loader, locking cable, a couple of tools here, and then some backstrap options, all enclosed in a hard case. Now, taking a look at the dimensions between the two, starting with the PDP, we're going to take a look at the length here, which is going to be an overall length, and that portion of it for the PDP is at 7.19 inches, and the Echelon is at 7.25. So the Echelon is just slightly longer. Taking a look at the height between the two, which is going to be the portion here. So the overall height between both of these guns are going to be pretty close. The PDP coming in at 5.4 inches in height here, and the Echelon coming in slightly shorter at 5.13. Now, obviously, that's going to be with the flush fitting 15 round mags. I'm not counting the extensions, but as you guys can see, with the 18 rounders, the Echelon is slightly longer. Now, when we're looking at the width here, the PDP on the left hand side is going to be 1.34 inches in width, and the Echelon is 1.2 inches in width. So Echelon does win the slimness between the two. And in terms of the weight, they are similar again. The PDP is 24.4 ounces, and the Echelon is 24 exact ounces. Both barrels are 4 inches. However, you can find different size barrels between the two. I believe the Echelon has an option of a 4.5-inch barrel, and the PDP has anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5, and even 5-inch barrels. Starting with the PDP, let's start from the top and work our way down. You're going to see here a really nice slide. They really paid attention to those slide serrations. As you guys can see, super deep serrations, very easy to control and get a hold of, whether you're racking it from the front or the rear. And like I said, you get front and rear slide serrations. You do get an optic cut right here. However, you do need adapter plates to run an optic if you're not going to run anything. If you're going to run anything other than the Holosun SCS, you also get some plastic sights similar to Glock, but no U-notch. It's going to be more of a 3-dot system, not night sights, not metal sights. So you do get plastic sights, and they are adjustable. You also have a loaded chamber indicator right here on the right-hand side, and that'll let you know if you got one ready to go. Now, taking a look at the Echelon, again, another really nice slide here, very detail oriented. Again, front and rear slide serrations, aggressive. You also get indentations here on the Echelon, and even some little wings in the back to slingshot the slide. Now, the slide on both are very buttery smooth, but the Echelon is a little smoother to rack. You also get some metal night sights on this one here. It is a 3-dot system, as you guys can see, and you get the VIS optic system, which is the best in the game in my personal opinion, meaning you can mount any red dot on here, almost any red dot on here, without needing an adapter plate. So awesome job there by the Springfield company. You also get a loaded chamber indicator just right here. That'll let you know if you got one ready to roll. Now let's work our way down as we take a look, and obviously Springfield always does a great job of giving us texture everywhere. An abundant amount of stippling, as you guys can see, just looks great. So you have it on your mags, you have it on your frame, you have it on your manual controls, and you have it under the trigger guard. I believe you have it in front of the trigger guard as well. So just an abundant amount of texture. You also get it on the back plate here. So really cool to see texture on the mag release, just everywhere. Echelon does a great job of giving you all of those things. And if we take a look at the grip texture or stippling on the PDP, also a phenomenal job by Walther to get this wrapped all the way around and come up all the way up high. You get some nice texturing on the mag release. You don't get anything here for your thumb rest location like you do on the Echelon, but very nice grip on the PDP. You get some palm swells here on the sides that just really lock your hand in place, and it just makes feel for a really, really good purchase on this thing. So great job by both. Let's take a look and see ambidextrous. So you do have a completely ambidextrous pistol here with the Echelon, meaning that the mag release works both left and right-handed. You don't have to switch it over. You also have the slide lock that works both right and left-handed. You have the thumb rest areas on both right and left. And the only thing you have to switch over is going to be your takedown lever. But again, you can switch it over to run it as a lefty. So completely ambidextrous controls on this one. And taking a look at the Walther PDP, you have your slide lock right here on both sides. So ambidextrous there. Your magazine release is only for right-handed shooters. However, you can flip it over and run it as a lefty there. And takedown is very simple, very Glock-like. So good there. So both are very nice and well detailed for left-handed shooters. We'll put this down and continue to take a look at other options that we have here. This has a 3-slot Picatinny rail for any lights you want to put on there. And the trigger on this is great. Let me show you guys what that trigger looks like. But we are clear, no ammo anywhere in the guns or in this room. So you get a nice take up here, pretty short, I mean about average, a little bit of mush, and a break. Now the break is very plasticky. It's a good trigger, but it's a little plasticky to me. And the reset is short, but again, it's a little wonky. I don't know why I'm a little weird with that reset. Uh, Needless to say, great trigger. Let's take a look at the Walther. Now, again, we are clear. Like I said, no ammo anywhere in the guns or anywhere in this room, so completely safe working environment. Now, let's take a look at that trigger, though, man. That thing is sick. It's a flat face aluminum trigger. Almost absolutely no travel there. A little bit of mush is there. Really crispy and tactical break, and the reset is immediate. So a much better trigger on the Walther, but that's no surprise. Honestly, Walther, aside from Canik, probably has the best triggers just out of the box. Now, continuing on with some of the stuff on the Walther, same deal. So you get a 3-slot Picatinny rail for lights on there. You get a slight beaver tail. I forgot to mention that on the Echelon. The Echelon, you also get a little bit longer of a beaver tail. And again, you get backstrap options for both of these to change the grip size and whatnot. On the PDP, you also get this magwell, and this is a functioning magwell, so it works really, really well. The one thing I did want to mention on this PDP, and that's one of my no-nos on this one, is how they made this little ledge from that extends from that trigger housing, and it just kind of sits flush with that mag release. So if you're going to release the mag, you're going to want to do it from up here somewhere, because if you try to push it from down low, it's not going to do anything because you're going to hit that ledge. And it looks like it's going to be the same down here. See, as this is kind of flared out like that, and it just sits flush there. So just a weird thing to do from Walther, but I mean, it's still within reach to use one-handedly, and likewise on the Echelon. Now, my experience with both of these at the range, I have no issues with either. The two both have been extremely reliable, accurate, and very manageable in terms of recoil. I will say I have a much better experience with the PDP though. I don't have any issues with the Echelon. The only thing is it's not that enjoyable to shoot. I mean, it's got more recoil and the trigger reset's a little wonky, like I said before, but it's not too bad. The PDP is just awesome. It's just so easy to get used to because it's got such a nice trigger. And the sights, even though they suck, they're on point. It's a very, very accurate shooter, and I have no complaints. I mean, both have eaten up everything. I have a lot more rounds in the Echelon than I do in the PDP, but that may change pretty soon. I've got over 1,000 in the Echelon and probably about 300 in the Walther, and I'm continuing to do testing on this. But so far, so good. Love them both. In my personal opinion, I would choose the PDP over the Echelon. However, I've said in previous videos, and I will continue to praise Springfield for what they did with the Echelon. In my opinion, it's probably the most perfect built gun out there. And one thing I did forget to mention when I was talking about the trigger is that this is modular. So you can remove this and put it in a different frame, and you can't do that with the PDP. So they just did everything right on this. And I just really like all of the attention to detail. The only place that it failed me, not necessarily failed, but where it fell a little short was the experience from a shooter's perspective. I feel like it could have had a little bit better recoil compared to other pieces in the segment. Now I know they have the comp version, but non-comp versus non-comp, I mean the PDP takes a cake. Even the Glock is, I think, a better, recoils better than the Echelon 4.0. But like I said, damn near perfect in every other aspect. The slide serrations, the texturing, the trigger module, the optics system, everything on this is just well built and well done by Springfield. But the Walther, I mean, just that experience at the range is just, man, it's just second to none, man. So in my personal opinion, I'll give it to the Walther PDP by a very close margin. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of this versus video, of this comparison. Which of these two would you prefer and why? Now, like I said, I do pick the PDP. However, if you're gonna carry one, I would go with the Echelon just because it's a little slimmer. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know what you carry. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. But if you already have, I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.